So I mentioned this correlation coefficient before and how it could be really close to 1 or -1 or 0 in the middle. Your R value is always going to be between -1 and +1. All right, that correlation coefficient is that R value. There's going to be a lot of words on these. Again, I'm just kind of talking through in this short video about what R is and what it tells us. If the correlation coefficient R is close to 1 or close to -1, that means it has a strong positive if it's close to +1 correlation, or a strong negative correlation if it's close to -1. Let me draw a number line to help you see when I say close to what that means. On a number line, we have -1 and 1, and in between those two, exactly in between those two, we have 0. So something like 0.9 is strong positive correlation. Something like -0.9, -0.9 is strong negative correlation. If your correlation coefficient is at -0.1, that's really close to 0, or +0.1. That's a weak. The closer you are to 0, the weaker the correlation. Weak positive correlation, or weak negative correlation. You very rarely will have exactly 1 or exactly -1, because again, that means that all of your points, all of your ordered pairs lied exactly on the same linear equation. It just does not happen very often, right? But that is the strongest when it could happen. So closer you are to 1, the stronger. The closer you are to 0, the weaker. So, 0.5 and -0.5 are like the halfway points between 0 and -1 and 0 and +1. Okay, so those are kind of like, are they weak? Are they strong? They're not great, but also they're not towards the weaker side. I'd say if it's in between -0.5 and 0.5, it's considered strong. And if it's outside, it's considered weak. But again, the closer to 1 and -1, sorry, I reversed that. Oof, I should not have said that. -5.5 and +0.5, if it's inside, it's weak. If it's outside, if it's closer to 1 and -1, it's strong. I wrote it right. I got a little mixed up with my words there. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. The closer we are to 1 and -1, the stronger the relationship. The closer to 0, the weaker the relationship. And then again, note that if the R value is positive, that means it's a positive correlation. If the R value is negative, that means it's a negative correlation. Okay, so that has that slope. If we were to draw the line, it would have a positive correlation, a positive slope, a negative correlation, a negative slope.